Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do this little page over here in this book here. Debbie Macomber's Very Merry Christmas coloring book. And this one has the picture on the side, and there's a little blip here if you wanted to read that. And Nutcrackers and gnomes. The few decorations here. Now there's a few things I want to change here. One, the toy. I think that this back should come out a little further here and actually look like it's connected to the leg a little bit. Maybe a little shadow here or denting those in. So I'm going to put a line there when I'm coloring just to make it look a little tiny bit more cohesive. This little guy's hat is kind of boring to me, so I thought I'd put a design on it. I'm not exactly sure what we want to do. Maybe put a big feather in it, or kind of a leafy pattern or something. Just to give it a something. Maybe we'll make that a taller one. Go up something like that. And maybe we'll have, there's some lines up here anyway, like a holly branch come down or something. From that side, who knows? Something like that. He's got a little gold swoosh whoosh on his, and he's got a little thing up here along with a chain, so that will work. He just needed a little something on his hat. We're decorated down here. And I think that's about all I wanted to do. There's a bowl on this side, and then there's pieces of the bowl in here, and I'm not sure if the bowl comes over to this side, but these areas will want to put some like wood scratchies in. So I'm going to mark those just so we know where they're at. We could put another piece of bowl out here, but I think it's behind him. And I'm not sure what these lines are down here, because the bowl would come this way. So I'm confused on those. If this is part of the bowl down here, then the bowl would come from this point down here across and up. So yeah, totally confused on that part, but we'll get to it when we decide what we're doing. We have really smooth paper here, and I think I'm just going to go in with my polys because I haven't used them in a bit. Yeah, I know. In a tiny little bit. So let's see. Got to start with something. We have a lot of little red berries around here, so we could pull out something in the red family. A dark red, a medium red, and a light red. Dark red's going to be the red violet because it's a pretty color. I mean, that's how I pull my colors out. There's a redder color, and then we need a light red, which would either be a pink or a, I'll pull with this one. Yeah, maybe more of a flesh tone, which always makes a nice pink. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with berry. Let me get you down, and we will get with the berries. They're kind of tiny. Okay, so we're going to start with the kind of the bigger ones here. I'm going to put a little of this in here. that's the darkest color, which is the violet, the red violet. Let's get this pink out of my way so I don't grab it by mistake. The other color I picked out is Madder, which is going to be our redder color right on top of that. And then we'll bring in our light flesh. Go back in a little bit with the darkest color, which is the violet. And there we have our berries. If you want to make them a little deeper, you can either bring in, oh, why a drawing pencil in here for some reason? Wonder why. Let's see, do I have a, well, bring in a little tiny black here. Just on that edge. Then we'll bring in a tiny, tiny bit of white. Goes over there. Pencils in this case are all over the place. Must have had fun putting them away. Sorry, had to sharpen that. Just a tiny bit of white in the center of these. Are you white? Yeah, okay. Okay. Boom, berries. All of them would have done like that. If I did that all day long, you would be bored. I'll do a few more, but this page is going to be like a bits and pieces page. This is how I go around and do it. If I have a lot, I'll just go around and put one color down at a time. Some of these are going to be really small. Just go in with the secondary color, Madder. Some of these you can actually go in with those if you want, just to give them a variation. The light flesh. Back in with the darker color. A little black. little white. And this one needs a little more red. Okay, continue doing those. We're going to take these same red colors and put it on this guy's jacket. So, his jacket, his arms. I'm going to put the violet on this side. Avoid his stripage because those are probably going to be a gold color. Avoid this guy's whiskers. There's hair that comes out. And we want to leave a light space in the middle. We want to get it really deep in this area because we're behind his arm. And those are loops, so you'll get a little color coming through there. These are going to be a different color. And on the top of his arm, that could be a different color too. So we'll just do these. So how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. We had a wonderful Thanksgiving at my sister-in-law's house. She did a great job. Okay, jacket itself, same color. And the bottom half of the jacket. Okay, bring in the matter. I'm just using this light pressure here. Just adding it on top of the other color. Do a few layers on this. Okay, bring in the light flash. Back in with the purple violet, red violet. I don't know if I've been calling it red violet or purple violet the whole time, but it's red violet. Sorry, I just want to get all the color down. I got one of my Christmas trees up this yesterday. One up in my bedroom. I put one up in the bedroom, one in the living room, one in the family room. So I got one tree up. So I get to peek over at it every now and then. Okay, we're going to take a tiny little of the black. Going to go down here, because we want that the darkest. In here, where it's kind of an arm in front, so there'd be a shadow. On this side, again a shadow next to his arm there. And this one, okay. I think we'll bring back in the madder. I should put in some white first. We want this shine to stay shine, so. Gonna use some pressure, make sure I can't color in those spots, just so he stays shiny. Put the madder in. A little bit more pressure. Okay, I'm going to have to turn the book a tiny bit just so I can get the top. Just easier for me to do that way. Okay, anytime you go out of the lines, which I did a lot here, and you don't want it out there, just go back in and give it an erase. And I know I wanted to leave those a different color, so I just erase it out. So I don't let that bother me if I go over the lines. I don't want very much stress when I'm coloring, so I don't give myself the stress. I'm going to add that light peach in here again. Just soften up our white line there a little bit. Again, if I go over those lines too much, I'll just go back in and erase them. Especially down here on his... Oh, well, I'll have to pull the eraser out down here. His pants are either going to be black or dark gray, so the color's not going to show up that much down there, but we want to get rid of it. I used to have a piece of paper I could do that with here. I'll clean up the eraser every now and then. There we go. Okay, so we've got our red jacket. We'll pull out a yeah, gold Posca pen. And we're just gonna put the gold in with that. Just so it's there. Let that dry. We can put a teeny tiny bit of white Posca going down these little white lines too to give them a little shinier look. I think it needs to be just a bit redder over here. And down in here. Anyway, we'll keep playing with it until this color is right. We'll probably put the gold. Let's put the gold around his jacket trim too. I'll do this one side because it has to dry. Then we'll do it down here on these buttons. I'll do that. I'll do it on the other side, but I want this side to dry. And still haven't figured out that line there. Pants. I think they should be black, so we're just going to go in with the black pencil. Okay, so I got kind of black pants, so we're just going to darken it. It'll be dark underneath his coat. Darker on those sides because his legs are round, hopefully. And then lighter in the center. So bring a tiny bit of white in here. And there we go. We have a candle wick in there that we're going to have to lighten up. So my eraser doesn't have any red in it. Then we just pull that out. And the other leg will be done the same way. Just darken it in the areas it needs to be darkened. Under the coat. Definitely beside his sword here. And of course this side of his leg. Down the candle. That needs to be a little darker there. Sorry. This side of his leg. Bring in the white. Back in the black. Gotta get under his coat better. There we go. Okay. His belt probably should be black too. And his hat. So we're going to turn the book a little bit more here and do the belt. Guess that's it. It doesn't come on the other side of him, so that side needs to be the darkest. I'll leave a little highlight on the top, just in here. A little bit of a shine. Okay. Little bars going across here are going to be gold too, and I just have to come up with a color for down in here. And his hat. Let's see. Well, we'll use the medium flesh here. for his hands, his face. We'll do everybody's hands. You get a hand down here somewhere, don't you? And we'll get some color on his face too. Their noses are about the same color, right? I don't know. And this little guy down here. You just got one hand. Okay, so they got a little bit of color. Let's see, what color shirt should I give him? Well, he's gonna have a little greenage up on his hat. His hat's gonna be black, so we might as well do that. Maybe we should put these in a little bit better line-wise. We'll throw some berries in there, up there somewhere. So then I can erase those. Should probably give it a second to dry. Don't smear it all over the place. Okay. Now we'll go in with black. Maybe we'll do those berries in a gel pen or something. Okay, where should a shine be here? Have it go up that way and a little over on this side, so darken that. Kind of need to shine in that area. Nice and dark down at the bottom. Don't know about the rim. Don't know if that should be black too. I'll have to think about it. Okay, now we're going to take the white in there. Make sure this stays as a shiny part. Just kind of blend it in there. Blend it on over here. Then we'll go over it with the black. Then I have to get to the top of the hat. Want to shine, but we don't want it looking too white. Okay, I get to erase a little bit of that extra that I pulled out. There we go. It looks really shiny, but it's not. Okay, we're gonna go red cheeks. He's got a mustache. It's gonna be the same color as his hair, which I think is white, so it'll be a light gray. I think madder might be a little too dark, so we want to go with how about a pink madder lake for our cheeks. Just gonna add a little in there. Then we'll bring in the madder, just darken it up around the edges. Then we'll bring in some of the light fresh just to burnish that down. And make sure all those are blended. We'll add a little bit of this pink on his nose here. And then the flesh back in there. Add a little bit of the pink up here. his face. Okay, down on his hands, we're going to do the same thing. Tiny little bit of pink. You can bring in white as long as it has no other color on the tip. We're just going to add it in there for a highlight. All right. We'll darken up his eyes. Yeah, we will. When I find the pen. We'll just do it with the black pencil then. Right across that. Guess we can give him an eye color. He's got a little space for it, I think. We'll give him blue. Any blue will do. What do we got here? Ultramarine. You probably won't really see it, but it'll be there. There we go, and we'll put a little dot in his eye, hopefully, if this one works. This one does not look like it's going to work, so we'll find a different one. I should throw that away, not just put it back on my desk. I'm really good at that. That one doesn't work, so let's throw it on the desk, and then I end up putting it back in the little bag to use again when it doesn't work. Okay, put that one in the bag and throw that one in the garbage. All right, we'll use that to bring down the little line through the gold. Like that. Then I just have to pick a shirt color, hat color, and everything else. We're going to do the holly. I wonder if I have a holly green. I have a pine green. We'll do pine green and earth green yellow. There we go. There's a little yellow in here. Earth green yellow, which is the lightest color. It's coming down from this part of the hat, so this is going to be the darker. We can get over on the other side and get a little black in here too, just so we know where the lines are, since I covered them so well. We'll bring our eraser and we'll erase this little line that goes out there so you can see it a little better. Bring in the darker green again. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of white. I'm going to sharpen this. Probably freak everybody out. This is the Holbien White, the 501. So just go around the edges of that. So you can see it. Go over it with the green again. And down the center with the black. There we go. Okay. We'll do this little dude here in kind of a golder color. I'm not going to do it solid like the other one, but I'll bring some of it in. So there's a yellow ochre here. Should have erased in there first. I got a little dark in there. From when I blended the hat out a little bit. So I'll put some of that in there. Bring in a little of a reddish brown, so this burnt sienna. And a little dark Naples ochre. And a little green gold in here. Then a little touch of the white. And then make sure we go back in with the black just to go around it. Okay, then we'll just touch it with the gold pen. All right, the little hat piece. bugs me. I don't want to make it black. It needs to be like fluffy, so we're going to do it in grays. We have cool grays. Yep, cool grays. Pull a few out. I think they're all cool grays. They better all be cool grays. Oop, we got a warm gray. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. And they all need, well, this one needs to be sharpened. There we go. So we're going to go in with 1. We're just going to put it in there. We're also going to do that with the hair. It's like a base coat. And his sleeves down here. Cuffs, whatever you want to call them. Okay, we'll go in with 2. We'll erase his eyebrows. They need to come out of the color that they are. There we go. Okay, now number 3. Get a little sharper. Tiny bit of black, just to darken up everything. I'm going to sharpen the black. Just lightly pull in some more hair lines. And there we go. Still not coming up with the color for his shirt. So let's do it gray. I don't know. I don't want to do it gray because it'll just look too matchy to his hair. Whatever it is, this is going to be. We're going to leave it for now. We'll come back to it later. We're going to do the sword. Same gray colors. So this is 1. No, this is 3. I'm going to just go right in with the darker color. I need to make a line there that looks like a line. So we're going to grab a piece of anything that I have on my desk that has a straight line. There we go. Put it down to the tip here, into that line there, and I can get a straighter line than I was drawing. And then just shade it in. And we'll do that again with the black. To the tip, to the tip. There you go. The top of the sword can be gold, so we'll just use the colors we used up on the hat. Yellow ochre. The brownish tone, burnt sienna. The dark Naples ochre. A little bit of the white. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to call it for right now. Dust off the page so you don't think I made a big mess out of it. I'll leave a picture of it at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section down below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.